The FDIC is making a huge update to their guidelines to allow banks to participate with crypto. This is big as it follows the repeal of SOB 121 and very bullish. And Blackrock is expanding its Bitcoin ETF to Europe, and you won't believe what's happening to the SEC lawyer who's been working on the Ripple case. It's really funny. I'll give you the details. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we are seeing macroeconomic signals that are pointing to the Fed is going to return to quantitative easing soon. I'm not the only one seeing this. There are many credible sources who are highlighting this. And the big one that a lot of folks are flagging is that the Federal Reserve's reverse repo facility hit their lowest inventory in 1,385 days today. So this signals that they're going to have to print, guys. And even Bill Barhydt of Abra retweeted this saying, quantitative easing is coming. They may have 10 different names for it, but it's coming. Protect yourself. And even Sven Heinrich, who's a well-known trader, I've had him on the podcast last year. He says, I don't even know every plot twist in this movie, but I know it ends with QE. So folks, over the past 2 years, we've been talking about Janet Yellen's liquidity injections. We've been talking about the Fed's path towards going back to money printing because that is the status quo. That is the fiat money system we live in. And you may say, well, what does this have to do with crypto? Well, remember, all assets are correlated to global liquidity. The reason global liquidity rises is they continue to print money and inject it into the system. Whether it be China, Canada, the United States, and whichever other country, they all have to do the same thing. Now, it's boom and bust cycles, right? And I've been telling you guys, we're entering the next boom cycle. They're going to go back to printing. And that's why all the debt ceilings that they keep raising, they're going to have to service that debt somehow. And they've been on the path to it. It's been taking years, obviously, but this is where you have to have a macro view and be patient when you're investing because we are going from quantitative tightening. We saw they paused rate hikes. They started cutting rates, and obviously they're going to fire up the money printers. So many folks are recognizing this, and I hope this is helpful that you understand why we have to diversify into assets. And crypto, as Paul Tudor Jones said, is the fastest horse in the race. Yes, you can invest in stocks. Yes, you can invest in real estate and gold and precious metals, but nothing moves faster than crypto. You get a higher return. This is how we outpace the debasement and the inflation, guys. So hope you understand that. Now, big news coming out of the FDIC. Many of you know the SEC recently repealed SOB 121, which now allows the banks to hold crypto. But the other part of that is the insurance, right? You got to have the FDIC in line as well so that these banks can participate with Bitcoin, crypto, stablecoins, and much more. So reports are coming out here that the FDIC plans to revise crypto guidelines and allow banks to engage in crypto activities. The FDIC aims to allow banks to engage in some crypto activities. Banks met with officials to discuss crypto custody tokenized deposits. Do you see what's coming? Do not get distracted by the price volatility that we're experiencing right now. A lot of people, I'm starting to see the sentiment. They're getting bearish. They're getting tired. They're getting frustrated. But this is part of the cycle, guys. You got to be able to stomach through it. It is a roller coaster ride on the way up. But if you have a macro view and you dollar cost average in, you buy the blood on the streets, and you are patient, you will make incredible returns. Now, my portfolio is up, guys, even though I wanted to go higher. But I understand that, hey, look, this is part of it. I bought the blood in 2022 in the bottom when FTX collapsed and much more, even in January 2023. And now my portfolio is up significantly. I'm sure many of you who bought at that point, you're up significantly. But it runs in phases. You can't have a continual pump and pump and pump. That's not how markets work. And you have to understand the global liquidity part and all these different things. That's why I try to give you the full picture, guys. I give you all the puzzle pieces to help you understand what's happening here. But this is very bullish news. The banks are going to bring in a ton of capital when they are able to custody it and create financial products. And they're going to go pitch it to all their customers, both institutional and retail. It's going to bring in a lot of capital. We still have higher prices to go. The bull market's not over, guys. And check this out, BlackRock is expanding. So do you think BlackRock, they're bearish and they're crying right now? They're like, oh man, the price is not moving. No, they're expanding, they're building because they know this thing is not done yet. So BlackRock is launching Bitcoin ETFs in Europe. And they said here the fund will likely be domiciled in Switzerland and could start marketing as soon as this month. BlackRock's iShare Bitcoin Trust is the largest US ETF tied directly to Bitcoin with $58 billion in assets, and the firm is a leader in exchange traded fund issuance, managing over $4.4 trillion in assets. So we know BlackRock is the world's wealthiest asset manager, and their ETF it has been blowing all the records out of the water, the fastest growing ETF in the history of ETFs. So they see what's on the horizon. They're expanding globally. They launch an Ethereum ETF. They're going to launch other ETFs once the SEC gets it approved, Solana, XRP, and much more. They know what's coming, guys. Now, check this out. MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy, has rebranded to Strategy. So they dropped the micro. And of course, their slogan is Strategy is the world's first and largest Bitcoin treasury company. So really interesting move here by Michael Saylor. And one of the things I've been telling you guys, I am a bit concerned with all the leverage they're using. So hopefully everything works out well for them. I don't have a problem with Michael buying Bitcoin, but if you're using excessive amounts of leverage, historically, the history of markets has shown us that that is not a good thing. Look at 2008 and different things, right? So, but I'm hoping nothing bad happens and it works out when the bear market comes. I think he'll be fine now. Bull market, the price goes up and all that, but let's see what happens when the bear market comes. Now, remember Jorge Tenero, the SEC lawyer who's been, attacking Ripple, lying here and there, some hypocrisy here and there. Well, I told you guys the other day that the SEC is pretty much dismantling its crypto enforcement unit, and Jorge's been moved to the IT department. When I read this, I just bust out laughing. It's just hilarious. This guy, man, and he's been trolled, over the years because of all the things he said. But, he was doing Gary Genser's dirty deeds. And of course, but you got to have some sense of understanding and morality and not do all the shady stuff he and Genser were doing. But maybe he and Genser are best friends or something like that. And even Ripple's Stuart Alderati tweeted out, sources say Jorge Tenero has been reassigned to macro data refinement. Oh man, all these guys, Genser, Elizabeth Warren, Jorge, and whoever else that were attacking the crypto industry, they have been defeated, embarrassed, and they're going to be long gone. This industry is here to stay. I've often said that Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler were on the wrong side of history, and here you go, folks. All of this is coming to fruition. Guys, quick word from our sponsor, and that is Uphold, which is a great crypto platform I've been using since 2018. Uphold has 300 plus cryptocurrencies. You can buy, sell, trade Bitcoin and the top altcoins. Best of all, they are fully reserved. They don't commingle or lend out your funds, and you can review their transparency reports. So this is a platform you can trust. And once again, I've been using them for years. And they launch a rewards program where you can get up to 5.25% on stablecoins. And the only thing you have to do is open the app once per month, deposit $50 and trade $50 once per month. And then you get access to the to earn this yield and also early access to new tokens that are listed on Uphold. So the stablecoins they support is Ripple's RLUSD, USDC, that's Circle, PYUSD. So those three you get 5% and you get 5.25% on USBC. Really great rewards program here. And if you caught my interview with the CEO of Uphold, they're not doing anything shady here to get the yield. Not like what, some of these other exchanges and platforms did years ago. This is legit, and they're using the top of the level security and safety and all of that. So if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, visit the link in the description. Now, guys, yesterday I talked about David Sachs' press conference, and I told you guys it was a big win, even though some people were disappointed. They were expecting a whole bunch of other stuff, but I mentioned that, look, government takes time to do things. And the fact that you have all these different government agencies and factions joining together to form a kind of crypto council is incredibly bullish. It's something that's not been done before. And I see this as a great foundation, a great start that is going to get us to where we want to. And even Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse weighed in saying any criticism of today's press conference is absolutely missing the forest for the trees. Having the chair of the Senate Banking, the chair of the House Financial Services, the chair of the Senate Agriculture, and the chair of House Agriculture join the crypto czar to commit to passing legislation for crypto clarity is 100% a big deal and something we haven't seen before. Spot on, guys. So we got to be patient. And as Brad says, don't miss the forest for the trees. This is a huge win. Now, moving ahead, we got big news around Ondo Finance. Remember, just recently, Ondo Finance partnered up with Ripple to tokenize $185 million of US Treasury offerings on the XRP ledger. So Ondo Finance launches tokenization platform for open on-chain access to US securities. So this is pretty big. So the new platform is designed to open up on-chain exposure to US public securities such as stocks, bonds, and exchange-traded funds. Guys, what have I been telling you for years, right? They're going to put everything on the blockchain. The economy and the markets will be running on blockchain. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in 1 or 2 months. It's going to take years, but the groundwork, the pipeline is being laid here. Please don't miss what's happening. And you want to make sure you're taking your bets on the blockchains that are being adopted, whether it be by the government or these TradFi institutions like Blackrock and so forth. So they're going to put everything on the blockchain. It's the token economy I've been telling you guys for years, and we're going to have 24/7 trading, no more opening and closing bell, truly global markets, and secondary and tertiary markets will be able to be open because of the tokenization, because you can fractionalize, you can do DeFi, you can wrap these assets, things you can't do now, right? In an analog or semi-digital world with stocks, but you put them on the blockchain. It opens up a world of opportunity. So here is a quote. What stablecoins did for dollars, Ondo Global Markets will do for securities, Ondo wrote in its Tuesday announcement. By leveraging blockchain technology, we can bring institutional-grade financial markets on-chain, making them more accessible, transparent, and efficient. Now, I don't hold the Ondo token, guys, but I'm going to have to start, researching. Maybe this is one I take a bet on in the bear market because I haven't looked at the price chart, but it could have ran up already. And I only have so much dry powder, and I don't want to spread myself too thin. But this is one, if I would look into. I'm not saying you should invest in it, but I would say look into it, do your research, right? So Ondo GM is expected to solve issues in the current securities investment environment, such as high fees, limited access, transfer friction, and lack of interoperability. Guys, it's incredible what is happening. So the newly launched tokenization platform will offer exposure to over 1,000 securities listed on, listen to this, the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, including fixed income ETFs and individual stocks of companies such as Apple and Tesla, according to the announcement. Guys, they're going to put gold, they're going to put every commodity, every security. Real estate will be tokenized, cars, artwork, you name it. That's what's coming. So pay attention, keep it in the back of your mind. And you may want to look at, how you can leverage those tokenized assets if you choose to, let's say buy some tokenized Tesla stock, right? I own Tesla stock, but I may want to look at, if I get the tokenized version, what can I do with it? Can I lend it out? Can I create something where I earn passive income? These are things I'm paying attention to. And as these things mature and become more fleshed out, I'm going to look to participate. And of course, I'll share that with you guys on this podcast, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and if it's making me money or not, if it's good or bad, right? We want to test everything out. Not everything's going to be perfect. I've often said version 1.0 of anything is not going to be great. It's going to have bugs, right? So we got to be patient. Here's another quote. Tokens issued in the Ondo GM platform will be each backed one-to-one by an underlying asset like a public stock and will be freely transferable like stablecoins outside the US. Like I said, global markets, truly global markets. Right now we got semi-global markets, right? So that's the news, my friends. Very bullish things are happening. I hope you recognize it. I hope you're not moving by your emotions based on what the price is doing now. It's going to bottom out, and we're going to have another pump into the next phase, guys. Just be patient. Patience is a big part of investing. And when in doubt, zoom out. And of course, if the looking at the prices bother you, step away from it. If the market's not doing anything, don't even look at it. Guys, I have not looked at my portfolio in days because I know the market's down. There's no point in looking into my portfolio, right? Even though I'm up, right? But I'm down from, let's say, the Q4 run up because everybody's down right now. But I know it's phases, right? So just be patient. Let me know what you guys think about this news. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Guys, a great way you can support me and the podcast is by subscribing to my free email newsletter, 100% free on Substack. Link will be in the description. Also, grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. You can also check out my new course. It's at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that covers every aspect of crypto. And guys, the best thing about it, which no other crypto course offers, it includes expert commentary. I'm talking founders, CEOs, institutional investors explaining different aspects of crypto. So you are hearing from people who are actually building, who are investing, who, they are neck deep in this industry building. So you will get all of that. I packed it with as much value as possible from my experience in starting in crypto in 2016. So you will get a lot of value out of this. It's a one-time fee for lifetime access. You can share it with your friends and family. You can go at your own pace. And it includes text write-ups, videos, downloadable materials. So lots of value, guys. So go to mycryptocourse.com to check it out. Guys, thank you for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.